So, and the second is why is it that if God gives one an instruction, if one dared to complain, he had more. So, for making complaints, God had more. That is the second question. Then the third question. Imagine I don't have access to who God calls my spiritual father and spiritual teacher, which are though different people with similar emphasis. How do I partake from his fatherhood and his other teachings? I don't know if this is clear. Imagine I don't have access to who God calls my spiritual father and spiritual teacher, which are though different people with similar emphasis. How do I partake from their fatherhood and also their teachings? The next question. What counsel will you give to a person whose spiritual father was or is in the act of adultery or ministerial excesses? Should I stay and pray, or do I leave the person? The next question. Okay, please, sir, you touched a bit on pastoral ministry and your call as an apostle. My question is, how do I differentiate the calling of an apostle to that of a pastor according to their responsibilities and functions? The next. Please, sir, can you give us the 9 guiding lights from the first, that is the first teaching, from the first, because this is not so clear. Please. This is not so clear. Whosoever sends this, please, if you can rephrase or you reconstruct that question for clarity's sake. The next. Okay, you are still typing. Okay, please. The first one. Okay, so you're able to capture some of the questions?
Some of them together. So, the first one is on ordination and recovery, right? The second one is on God adding more instructions. Well, so let me pick from the second one. I'll come to ordinations. It might take me some time in scriptures. I think that experience is a unique dealing from God. That if you complain about an instruction, he now adds more to you. Because my basis for the belief of what is ideal is scriptures. So we need to look for people in the Bible that God functioned with like that. Adam, no. Abraham had a very expressive relationship with God. In Genesis 15, God began a conversation with him. Fear not, Abraham, I am thy shield, an exceeding great reward. And you find out that Abraham now responded in the negative, because he knew that continuity to him was supposed to be through a son, and he did not have a son. So it's like saying to God, why are you promising me a blessing, seeing that is this my slave Eliezer that is going to inherit these things? Historically, the next time God spoke to him was in Genesis chapter 17, and it was a space of about 24 years of silence. So that's Abraham. I'm taking the iconic people in scriptures. Did David complain about anything? Okay. Who else complained? Elijah. Right? Who did you mention? Jonah. Good. Okay, Moses complained about. Okay. So did God add more instructions to him, or God dealt with his tamale? He just gave him help. Okay, since you can't talk well, I won't make you talk well. This guy will talk on your behalf. So it's helped that that one attracted. And then Jonah complained too. Did God give him more instructions? Elijah complained too. I'm worse than my fathers, take my life. God brought him help. Take what is on you. Put one on Hazael, put one on Jehu, put one on Elisha. Anoint him a prophet in your room. So I'm saying that pattern is not. Paul also came up with certain issues. There was a thorn in his flesh. And then it was help also. My grace is sufficient for you. My strength is made perfect in your weakness. So I'm saying it may be a unique dealing that we need to probe as a person why he's doing that. Except if we don't understand your question. But it's not something that is accurately patterned in scriptures that God rewards complaining by more instruction. The children of Israel were a very robust example. They over complained. So, okay, can we identify the person who asked the question? If you want to raise your hand, if you don't want to, you are free. Okay. So, are you around the school or you are from town? From Amaraba is far. Okay. Huh? Okay, I'll give you my line. Is that fine? We'll look into that situation to find out why your complaint is producing instructions. The first labor will be to find out, is it God that is adding more instructions? If it is God, we can now probe him to ask him, why are you treating this brother like this? And he will talk to us. So remind me to give you my line when I'm done. Okay.
Thank you very
now,
much. Now,
you also asked about spiritual fathers. I want to isolate that ordination thing. In case we have another ordination question. The first one was about having a remote spiritual father and a teacher. So it's like I meet some people, say, who is your spiritual father? They say E.W. Kenyon. And I'm wondering, how can E.W. Kenyon be your spiritual father? Or maybe T.D. Jakes. You see, fathering and somebody whose sermons you'll be listening to are different things. If there is no proximity with the person that God is assigning to you, it's because God has a path of access. Are you with me?
yes, sir.
I mean, if he mentions the name, so did you hear my name before you saw me? But we have not communicated. We have not. Most of the people that are submitted to me maybe heard a name, a sermon, but God now orchestrated meetings. Like for me now, the first time I heard the name of my spiritual father, the Apostle Arome, was in March 2016. I mean, never heard anybody by that name before. So it's not up to 1 year, up to 10 years rather. Somebody went for youth service in River State and brought 3 sermons, and the name was Arome Osai, Guidance of Change, The Way of Holiness, and then They Are Coming, Men of Stature. The first time I listened to the sermons, I did not even understand. What is this guidance of change? What is this one? But there was a fragrance in the voice that I knew this was my future. So I continued my listening to those 3 sermons. Another one of our brothers, now the person who brought it Lamde is in Canada now. Another person came from Anambra. Larry is in Germany now. And Larry came with 12 sermons, same person. So I began to listen more. They had a website that time. You could just download all their sermons. So I just had their sermons. Apostle Rome's sermons, over those space of 5 years, I still have the file. It's 8 gig. And the sermons are like 32 MB. I have 8 gig of Apostle Arome. I have 5.2 gig of Apostle Selman. And that time, it was more of Apostle Selman we're listening to. 2012, 2013, 14, 15. So I went for Lagos on a retreat. My elder sister used to work at Total. So they have an island in Lagos. We were there. And on the 26th of December, the Lord told me, you will go to Makurdi to see my servant. Never been to Makurdi before. Arrived back in Lagos, took a vehicle to Makurdi on the 28th. When I was to leave, listen to me carefully. When I was to leave, I didn't know the way. So the Lord dropped a name in my heart. One of my friends, Sumaila. Sumaila was born the day I was born. I mean, same day, same year. And I know he's from that side, Kogi side. So I called him and he told me, oh, get to, you see, Maraba or Yaya, you get vehicles to Makurdi from there. So pick a vehicle. Who are you going to see? I said, Apostle Arono. Does he know you are coming? No. He said, I will call him now. So the person God told me to call not only knew the way, also knew the person. And he said what Apostle told him was, if that guy is your friend, is a minister, let him come. So I was in Apostle's house, 30th of December 2016. Immediately I saw him, my knees began to shake. So this is the man, this is the man. Why did you come? I don't know. Because the Lord said, go and see a servant. Then did like this. Like he's scanning you. He said, the Lord said that in a lifetime, I will have my own 12 apostles. You are one of them. That deduction was in 4 minutes. So, he said, you can leave now. He didn't pray with me. So I had some money that I took, the wisdom of the servant. So I now said, sir, he looked at me, he did like this. He said, you need that money more than I need it. And before God, I didn't have TFL. I would have been dwelling in the Benue. Maybe I would have joined one farm. So it was that same money that I used to go back home. As I was walking out of it, he said, you did not even invite me to come and preach for you. I said, the Lord did not say so. So every time that Apostle Aaron has come to Bomosho, he came by himself. He's the one that will call me. Bro, we're supposed to show your side. Papa, when do you want to come? Okay, about this time, then we fix the meeting. That's how I met him. How did he become my teacher? God sent his sermons to me. Some people's spiritual fathers are their own pastors. But you have not discerned the man that way. You like one guy in Oklahoma. That's in the US. That's the one you like. That's why you don't have access to him. Fatherhood is not listening to somebody's sermons. There is a knowing that exposes the aspects of your life to that person. What it covers is not doctrine. Even though it's supposed to bring doctrinal cover too. It's a life that God brings under another. Are you with me? So most times, it's either the person is close or you will have access to the person. You cannot be fathered by somebody that you don't know and does not know you. Meanwhile, you can be mentored by that person. You can be mentored by books. There's an aspect of your life that that person is emphasizing, and then you can draw instruction from that part. But fathering, even Apostle Sema has many spiritual sons that he doesn't know them. All of them are apostles in their own rights, but he does not know them. If I start school of ministry tomorrow, that you come does not mean I'm your father. The fact that God told you that I'm your father does not mean that I'm your father. I must also labor in God because it's a living relationship. So it cannot be one-sided. Are you with me? So that's the concept of access. In case the person doesn't know you and you only know the person on TV, God can tell you that that is your father, but there's no relationship established. Are you with me? So you either wait till there's a knowing, or that you trust God to really instruct you. I'll close by saying, every father that God assigns to you is strong for you. One of our spiritual sons, his wife was in labor. Strong man, Oludare. I was in a wedding. And then he called me and said, Papa, my wife, I was in motor park. My wife, Ebenezer was the wedding one. She has been laboring for a few days. The man is a man of faith. When he started crying, say, help me. I said, I'm just entering the car to Bomosho. We're chatting. And then I typed, she gives birth now. Less than 3 minutes. She sent to me and said, she has given birth. I was in a wedding in Lagos, and one of our sons, the wife gave birth, and the baby was born dead. Ebenezer in London. Papa, thank God. Was it wedding? I was in Gateway Polytechnic, Shapadi. That's on the way to the express. The road that goes to Shagam off the express. I just finished the meeting. Says the baby was born dead. Text message. And I typed no. Let them check again. By the time they looked at the baby again, boom, the baby has started bleeding. Your father is always strong for you. My wife and my son were on admission. The first time, I think the second time I came to Owen, left them in Ilorin under the watch of our spiritual sons, Pastor Genesis and the others. And as I passed through Bomos, I sent Apostle a text. I love my family, but duty calls me, and I'm on my way to fly to Lagos. My wife and my son are on admission. He typed back, the plague is broken now. In 1 hour, both of them were discharged well. Your father is always strong for you. So don't look for a big name. You know, like me now, I'm not a big name person. Don't look for me. There are people on the waiting list for 5 years because I will try your heart, because I know the relationship is a living one. So there's always proximity. 2, if your father is now adulterous or he has veered off the truth, running away is not the first step to do. Your first labor is intercession. This man that is covering you is a man. And because he's a man, the enemy can take advantage of the gaps in his life to afflict. I know your fear is you two will be adulterous. It doesn't start that way. Stand in prayers to see him restored. Are you with me? If it pleases God, seeing that that man is recalcitrant, that he will not change, God will reassign you. If you jump ship because of what you heard about the man, you will not be functioning as one of the sons of God, because the sons of God are led by the Spirit of God. Don't pick another man because this one has gone away. Are you with me? Intercede for his recovery. A quick story and I'll stop. I know a minister. He will have been one of the senior ministers, because all his friends are frontline ministers. You don't even know him. His spiritual father, who is just a little older than him, is one of the most respected men of God in this nation. And I mean most respected men of God of Nigerian descent globally. I met him under strange means, saw me from afar, called all my names, told me to look for him. That's how I knew him. He's been doing itinerant ministry maybe before I was born. He started early. Now, this man was caught, entangled in a relationship with a feminine figure. She took him out of ministry, began to struggle, began to beg for food. It was that bad. Began to do all kinds of things to forge ahead. His sons began to pray. His friends began to pray. And they prayed for 10 years. 10 years. 10 years insisting that God will come true. One of the prayers they raised was that the woman because he was now living with the woman. He was the one that left and lived with the woman. His own family scattered. His wife now died. Out of pain. The prayer was, may that woman be barren. Because if the woman gives birth, it will be difficult for him to be recovered. And the God of heaven answered that for 10 years, that woman was barren. Not too long ago, in one of those prayer meetings, the Lord revealed to them that he had heard their cry. And so one of them left the meeting and called him, "Sir, when are you returning to the Lord?" And his question was, "Where do I start from?" He's back. And I've seen him minister. He's still under restoration because his father is a master of restoration. So they are still watching him. They are still watching him. But I watched a meeting that he attended, and they gave him only a few minutes to speak. And I knew that his hair has started growing deep. Many people stray permanently because they are no intercessors. We are quick to detach ourselves from men who have stains. I know somebody is hearing me and saying, "Sir, you don't know. If there's adultery up there, it will be down on the person." That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying go and be receiving prayers from somebody who is actively in adultery. I'm saying that you were the one receiving from him before. Now he must begin to receive from you. Keep praying, keep praying. If God finds you faithful and knows that that man will be lost forever, God will reassign him. Because he reassigns well. So this fathering relationship is not eternal as long as God does not make it eternal. But men cannot break it. Because it did not start with good behavior. Are you with me? In the same way, if there are fathers here, even the university now, 200 level used to father 100 level. Don't laugh now. I hear that even people who have not gained admission used to father themselves. Okay, let's laugh. Since we want to laugh, you can laugh. God will show us mercy. I'm saying that when sons misbehave, the way to deal with misbehavior is not dissociation. Me, I have one son now that is misbehaving. And I know the area of his misbehavior. So I've isolated that area. And I've told him, any decision you make until you are right in that area, I will not be part of it. Now he wants to make a decision and wants to involve me. And I've told him no. My protest is to give him wisdom. That you can't be like that. But he's still in my prayers. He's still my son. Yesterday night, he still sent me a message. "Oh, my father," I said, "I am not throwing you away, but me. That area is wrong. And I'm going to stand before Jesus to say I told him it was wrong." So these are the ways to manage. If you are under pressure on a final note to leave, go back to God and tell him, "I cannot bear it. What would you have me do so that your life is still led?" All men are flawed. There are those who don't sleep with people but steal from people. There are those who don't steal from people and don't sleep with people but are unforgiving. Are you with me? Men come in different shades of frailty. And so if you jump ship, you may be jumping from fry pan to fire. Let God lead you. My prayer is for those who have chosen spiritual fathers for themselves and have now become captives. Because they are, that's the way we used to say it, mentors that have become a tormentor. May God set you free. I said it in one of the meetings I had in the redemption camp recently. When you are saved, your first journey is with Jesus and brethren. Don't start looking for spiritual father. Spiritual fathers are discerned when you have matured. It's not a baby's discernment. Because you may entangle yourself with a man, and in the day you want to disengage, one guy is under me now. The day he disengaged from the man called me, said, this is your guy, this is your guy. And the young man knows some hidden things about the man. The man said, we have conducted Holy Communion against the boy. They tried to enchant the boy with Holy Communion. I mean, with the flesh and the blood of Jesus. They manipulated it to channel negative energy. I had to challenge the man. I said, if you attack this boy, it's me you attack. That's fatherhood. If you think you can win this battle as a church against me, try. The last time I saw the boy this week, he said he's not feeling the man again. I said, I can't feel him. Because it means anything they shoot at you, it's me that will take it. That's fathering. So if I'm in 200 level, fathering a 100 level student, it means if there's witchcraft from home, now I'm going to enjoy our move. May God give you understanding. Okay, so that's how tough it is. So that's on fathering. Okay, I've done 2 questions out of 9. Have you? Okay, 3. Then there's pastoral and apostolic ministry. These things are clearly defined by doctrine, so I'm not even going to answer that question. Take time and study. I shouldn't be teaching that kind of thing here. The fivefold ministries have clear definitions as for existence and role playing, both in scriptures and in books. If I want to recommend a book that helps you, it's the Fivefold series by Rick Joyner. The pastoral, evangelistic, the apostolic, the prophetic, and the teaching ministry. Very, very detailed label. But there are many other books. I would recommend outside Rick Joyner, you read older books written by older authors. Their writings are more matured on the outlook and the outlook and the engagement of all of those ministries, so they're distinctively different. Meanwhile, there's no true apostle that does not embody pastoral labels, because in an apostle you will see all of the strands of the other ministries there, and it's because one of his roles is coordination. So he's supposed to understand bits of the other ones and supposed to be able to operate the other ones to a degree when that spiritual office is not around. Are you with me? So I'll leave you to go and study. I've given you what to read so that we don't take time with that. Okay. I will close with the ordination question. Any other one?
You mentioned about your desire to touch God, and you said you haven't gotten there. How do you know you have touched God?
How do you know that you have been electrocuted? You will shake. The guide on that journey is scriptures. The Bible is supposed to advertise as a milestone for your journey. When Paul arrived at Philippians 3, verse 10, he said that I may know him. Meanwhile, the letter to the Philippian church was not Paul's first letter. It means that the other letters he had written, I think that was his 8th. Help me find the order. It means that the other letters had advertised the knowledge of God, but as far as Paul was concerned, I've not even apprehended him, which was also in Philippians 3. I don't think I've journeyed as far as Paul. So there are also narratives of men who found God in dimensions. And the last time I checked, I'm still in a foundation school. So that's the way we know. So the journey through scriptures, the journey through the experiences of people of like invitations will reveal that God has not been fully known. There are many things I know in scriptures that have not become my experiences. And the knowledge of God is not teaching. The knowledge of God is practical. Are you with me? Okay. Somebody spoke about the 9 guiding lights. Why I will not share is because I have the sermon but I have not preached it. And I promise our congregation that I will preach it. If I want to add anyone to you, I will add 2. I will add a prophetic word, which is one of the guiding lights. It may not be a prophet, but the believers around you can be quickened onto the prophetic so that they deliver to you what is God's guidance instruction to you. The most important of all those guiding lights is scriptures. Are you with me? So I've done 4 out of 9. If my people are watching, they will say, so let me leave the rest for them.
Thank you very much, sir. So yes. There's another question. A minister who is not confident in himself, but he has had this revelation by dream. He received a message to evangelize, to organize musical crusade and preach. So what should be his next line of action?
Okay. Help me, Jesus. So he already has instructions, and that's a great one. The problem is that he does not have confidence. Okay. One of the grounds, there are 2 basic grounds for confidence. Basic means there are many. One is the word of God. There is an emboldening experience that comes from engaging the word. It advertises a God who is not just existential, but a God who is practical. Not just a God who is, but a God who does, and a God who does with men. So you see Moses, a look-alike of your current state, not confident, but how God, through a zero confidence man, strengthened him and then aided him. You will see the examples of a lot of weak men. Jeremiah, what was Jeremiah's basis? He was young. God had to tell him, don't say that you are a child. You will say the things that I said to you, you will say to them, you will stand before the people that I send you to. God now threatened him. He said, if you are afraid of them, I will confound you before their eyes. So you will see those different examples in scriptures of men who had seemingly no capacity to do what God told them to do, but God helped them. And you'll be able to draw inspiration and strength from that. The other thing is encounters. And Moses is another one. How do I know that you are the one that is sending me? Throw your rod on the ground. The rod became a serpent. Pick it up again. It became a stick. Put your hand in your bosom. Take it out. The hand was leprous. Put it back. Take it out. The hand was okay. Those were signs. Thomas, I don't even believe. How did he do this work? I'm not going to stand for him. I'm just extrapolating now. Except I put my hand in his side and I put my hand in his hands. Jesus came back. He didn't preach any other thing. He just looked at Thomas and said, oh, you said so. Come and put your hand here. Come and put your hand there. And quit your unbelief. Blessed is that one who has not seen, and in not seeing has believed. And then Thomas acknowledged him, my Lord and my God, right? My Lord and my God. And then he was established. History says that Thomas labored around the regions of India, and that it was mind-blowing ministry that he did there. How am I concluding that answer? God has a confidence package for everyone that he's sending. Humility, sincerity is what activates it. Lord, you know I'm not doubting you. But I've looked into myself and I don't think I'm confident. The average person thinks that Tolu Agboola is a confident minister. I can boldly tell you, no. Every time I come to preach, I come to preach with fear. It's not the fear of what to say. If you've been doing this for long, even if you yawn, you can start preaching. Am I saying what you want me to say to them? It's my fear. My last line is, Lord, am I doing this again today? And I wait for him to say, let's do this together. It is the together. But what leads us out of here is that presence now journeys with us. That's the cry of Moses. If your presence will not go with us, then don't let us leave this place. Then I began to cry. If you looked at the plastic chair I sat on that time, there was water on the chair. Don't leave me here. Don't let me do this all by myself. All of a sudden, if somebody says, let's trust God for supplies, it's likely supposed to be God. Are you with me? Yes. When you become saved, it means your spirit is saved. Your soul is being saved, is being transformed by the renewal of your mind. Right? It becomes more difficult because the demarcations are now good, bad, and God. So that it sounds good does not mean that it sounds God. So you can hear, let's go and do worship concert to exalt the name of Jesus. If a non-believer hears that thing, he is likely God. That's what he will say. If a believer hears it, it may be good and not God. So the Bible advertises that the word of God is not only effective, it is also alive. That's the word quick. The Bible says that the word is sharper than any two-edged sword, and it pierces onto the dividing of what and what? The soul and the spirit. It means the word has the ability to cut and separate what is soulish good and what is spirit good, which is God. So as you expose yourself to the word, discernment begins to grow. Discernment is not just what is said. Discernment reveals who is speaking. That's how you mature and separate them. Do you know it's not every person who comes to beg for money in Jabi Park that are supposed to give money? I don't have time to share the story with you. Giving money like that took me on a 12-year journey of scarcity. And was last year that he book. It's a story for another day. 12 years. I was giving to one person. And then I won't tell you the story. I know you want to hear it, but I'll not tell you. What now? Is it not my story? I met somebody, what was last year? 2014. It means I met the person 2012. I was just passing. And I saw the person with a baby in need. And the little I had, I crossed the road and gave to the person. The person was hanging between mental derangement and the normals. Was mentally deranged normally. Whenever I come close to the person becomes normal. So you could see us having cognitive communications, and the people would feel, this guy, the person knew that I was a man of God. So I was giving money to use your gate of compassion. I'm quoting directly from the dream with tears. Called my wife, and then she started consoling me. And I called Reverend Austin because immediately I finished the dream, he just entered into prophetic mood, and for 40 minutes he kept prophesying that a season was ending and another one was lifting. 3 weeks later, I was minding my business in Ogbomoso, and I got a call from Lagos. My spiritual father was there. Tolu, leave that city now, or you'll be dead by tomorrow morning. Something had broken in the spirit, and the only way to make the boy small was to kill him. So I had to journey to Lagos. We were in the same house. I was next room to him. He will do counseling till 3 p.m. from morning. Enter his room and engage God for 3 hours, and then we will go to preach. 6, we'll come back 9:30, eat at 10, and by 12 he will knock